Do you fix big ceiling fans and not quite understand the electrical side of it, or you are in the industry and you want a better knowledge? I'll step you through how we had a dead fan that we fixed in 20 minutes over the phone. It saved John of $15,000, and we did it in 20 minutes. So John's from Kentucky, and he's calling on this large account, and they had four older big ass fans, and three of them weren't running, and we were able to step him through some of the things we know what to do. So the first step was, hey, it was great. It was standard equipment. You can see right here, oh, on the open, the drive lit up. That was the first good step. The drive lit up, but it wasn't running because you had three dead fans, and we told him what parts to try to get at least one of them going. And he emailed me the wiring diagram, which was super useful because he sent the wiring diagram. I compared what images he gave to this, and I noticed there was a little jumper between terminal 1 and terminal 11 was missing. Just from my knowledge of various VFDs, that's like the safety part, and it's missing. So we stuck a jumper in there, and the fans actually worked. I mean, the fan, he said, is it going? Oh, yeah, now it's starting, and it actually started up. Before it was completely dead. So that one little strip wire, without the little jumper wire in there, like nothing happened. Afterwards, the screen lit up and we got up to 60 hertz. So we fixed it over the phone. There was no true service people there. It was just someone who was basically an educated salesperson went in there and figured this out, and we helped him over the phone. It didn't cost him anything from our end. And then as we went through this, we figured out this jumper was missing. Like, that's kind of weird. And then we realized that's a fire alarm relay, and the fire alarm relay was laying in the bottom of the box. So I was like, well, hey, that thing ought to be hooked up. So we looked at the part number and got some pictures of it. And normally a fire alarm, you hook to the VFD through the normally closed and the common, which all that means normally it lets the fan run unless the fire alarm is sending a signal. That's the standard thing. So like, he found the fire alarm relay laying in the box. So I told him how to take the jumper out and put the two wires in between 1 and 11. But then the fan, it just didn't work. The problem was we couldn't figure it out right away. It's like, we put the jumper in between 1 and 11. Hey, the thing works perfect. You put the fire alarm relay in, no go. So he got his meter. We ohmed it, and it was an inexpensive name brand meter, but we couldn't read the exact ohms, but there was too much resistance, and the little contact in the fire alarm relay wasn't good enough, and it didn't let the fan go. So I was able to figure out his meter wasn't working over the phone, and we just put the jumper back in. So that was the story of it. He got that fan running. There was two more that had gearboxes, and they were grinding. So we have this other video you ought to watch on how to try to fix that. But he heard a grinding noise, and those two we were stumped on. But I can tell you why. Because the gearbox is probably about this big, and the shaft for the motor comes in the top, and it's like full of oil, but there's no like riser pipe on it. And while it's full of oil, there's still a gap at the top, and this pin, the motor shaft sticks in maybe so far. And if you run it slow for a long time, that top gear actually don't get much oil. You need to be going faster because the gears in the bottom have like splasher plates on to splash oil around in there. But with that shaft just being stubby, and if the oil level comes down a little bit and you run slow for a long time, that top gear gets dry. And of those four fans, two of them actually, the top gear got dry and went out. And that, we unfortunately don't have any replacement parts for those. But if you have like one with a broken hub that has a good gearbox on, we can tell you how to swap the parts around. I just want to tell you that was the other reason some of them weren't running. And that is why we stick with direct drive fans that actually don't have a gearbox. It's just like a fat motor, and magnetically moves the motor at the same speed the blades are going. The blades are right on the shaft. So that means there is no gearbox to go out. And we make all of our stuff as standard as we possibly can. We make it here in Pennsylvania. We're actually taking this video in above the shop where we make the fans, and we have decent wiring diagrams. Any qualified electrician can work on it, and we try to use off-the-shelf VFDs, and we try to answer the phone, because that's one of our big things is like plain English wiring diagrams. a human actually gets the phone. We do have an answering system to pick up and get the right department, but we actually have live people that are know what we're talking about. So there, thank you for watching. So to sum it up, if you're running into a problem with a big ceiling fan and you don't quite know how to get it going, if you give us a call and set up an appointment, I'll be able to help you. One of the ways to make it go faster, if you have any wiring diagrams or pictures, I would love to have them on ahead of time, and then I can just review it and we can fix stuff in 20 minutes that you might think you might have to otherwise totally replace. So just call our main line, 610-987-0488, or you can send text messages